Let's get started with our topic, which is mathematical roots. To understand square roots, we first must understand square numbers. A square is a shape that has equal lengths and 4 right angles. To find the area of a square, we multiply one side length times the other side length. Since the lengths are the same, it is the same number times itself, or squaring it. It is called a square because when you multiply a number times itself, it forms a square area. Please note that you can multiply a negative times a negative and you can get a positive. But this example does not apply to square area, which requires a positive answer. So if there is a pair, there is a square. We should memorize the perfect squares. To square root a number, you have to undo the square. The square root of the number is one of the two equal numbers that are multiplied together. For example, the square root of 16 is really 4 times 4, and we take one of the 4's away, so the answer ends up being 4. Beware, there can also be negative square roots, because negative 4 times negative 4 can also give us a positive 16. So we put those in the bracket, and we take one away, we end up with one left. Negative 4. This symbol means plus or minus, meaning you're going to give an answer that would be negative and positive for the square root of 16. So we proceed by splitting the number, taking one away, and answer it plus or minus 4. Let's try these. So the first one is the square root plus or minus of 25, so that's 5 times 5. We take one of those away. Now you turn the video off and try the rest. These are the results so far. But this problem is a red light. There is no answer for this problem because there is no number times itself that makes negative 16. So in general, you cannot take the square root of a negative number, and the answer for this would be what we call the null set. It can't be done. Square roots with fractions are done the exact same way. We simply square root the numerator and denominator, taking one number away, but do not forget to simplify the answer. In this case, 2/4 becomes 1/2. This is the square root of 81 over 100. We split it into 9 times 9 and 10 times 10. The answer is 9/10. Turn the video off, try the next one. I hope you got this one correct and you did not forget to simplify the answer in the end right here. Now we will solve equations with square roots. To solve an equation, we want to isolate the variable, which means we want to get x by itself. So if we square root both sides, we end up with x times x, take one away, 7 times 7, take one away, and x will be equal to 7. Now try what you've learned before on this problem. I hope that you were able to construct it to this point, where we simply take one of each of these away and end up with y equals 2/5. This problem may require you to use a calculator to guess and check what number times itself equals 0.09. The two numbers when multiplied together that make 0.09 are 0.3 times 0.3. So the pairs of numbers would be z times z and 0.3 times 0.3, giving us an answer that z equals 0.3, or 3/10. It's now time to talk about cube roots. Cube roots are handled very similar to square roots, except we have to undo a number that is cubed, which means it's multiplied by itself 3 times. Here is an example of 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, which is a perfect cube, and I say, if there is a triple, there is a cube. You should memorize the perfect cubes 1 through 10. Let's look at this example. 64 can be made from 4 times 4 times 4. To solve a cube root, we take 2 of the 4's away, and the answer is 4. So now you try the cube root of 125. I hope you got the answer of 5. And now we need to look at taking the cube root of a negative number. You can take the cube root of this negative number. But as you recall, you cannot take a square root of a negative number because no number times itself can come out negative. But in this case, negative 3 times negative 3 will give us a positive 9 times another negative 3 will give us negative 27. So we can take the cube root of negative 27 by taking two of these numbers away, and the answer will be negative 3. Solving equations with cube roots is very similar to square roots. We find the three numbers that multiply together create the number. We take two of them away. In this case, x times x times x. We take two of those away and end up with x equals 8. You try this one. And the answer is x equals 7. Ciao.